Tremors 3 Back to Perfection is a 2001 creature feature directed by Brent Maddock. When Burt Gummer returns home to the isolated desert town of Perfection, he finds the giant man-eating worms have also returned, and are about to evolve yet again. But before we get into this ass-blasting bonanza, I just want to ask that if you end up enjoying this video, then please consider dropping a like and maybe even subscribe, as it would really help my channel grow. So thanks. Also, there will be full spoilers ahead, but if that doesn't bother you, then grab your deep-fried Mars bar-flavoured popcorn and whip out your anti-leggy disguise as we dive into Tremors 3 Back to Perfection. So the movie begins in the birthplace of the Argentinosaurus, Chile. Nah, of course it's Argentina, where these news reporters are waiting for someone important to arrive for their latest story. But who, I wonder? Then we see a familiar truck driving their way. I'd recognise that truck anywhere, unless it was parked in a car park full of similar trucks. Then I'd probably struggle. And out steps our old pal Burt Gummer. Excuse me, Mr. Gummer, but why do you have red eyes? Because I'm extra dangerous, obviously. Anyway, Bert is there to take care of an outbreak of leggies which have been spreading like wildfire. So he goes over the plan with the news reporters.
First rule of engagement.
Shoot 'em.
Second rule.
Shoot 'em. Third rule? Shoot 'em? No, silly. Reload. And then shoot 'em. Okay, and what is the government paying you for this?
A truckload of chickens.
Well, if you don't mind, Senor Gummer, we are now going to run away like whoop 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 whoop.
Nothing to worry about, because for once I have the proper tool at hand.
Steve? Marret? That fellow we're charging's got red eyes. So have you not played a Souls game? That means they're a lot more dangerous than normal. Dangerous? Pah! What's he gonna do? Shoot us with massive mounted machine guns? Say hello to my little friend! Oh shit! And he blasts the bounding blighters with reckless abandon until there's nothing left but char-grilled chunky bits.
Any questions?
Nope, we're all dead, eh? Then after finding out the executive producer is a Super Saiyan, we're back in the town of Perfection. Though calling it a town's a bit of a stretch as it's only got 2 buildings. So Bert's back to where it all began, and sees an advertisement for Perfection Valley Ranchettes. Then who should rock up in a truck but Miguel from the first movie? Yay! And his new pet moustache, Stephanie. So they have a chat and Bert tells Miguel that he's just installed an underground wiggly barrier up at his house. Oh, Bert, you lovable, paranoid bastard. Anyway, I've got to take Stephanie to the vet, so I'll see you later, Bert. Say bye, Stephanie. Meow. Inside the local store, we see this loving tribute to the old store owner, Walter. His niece, Jodie, runs the store now and hands Bert his mail, which includes an offer from Perfection Valley Ranchettes to buy his home.
Shall I file it for you?
Whoa, 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 whoa! You said file it, not shred it! Oh, now I'm not going to know what kind of offer I was going to refuse.
Hey, cool watch.
Oh, thanks. It keeps itself updated.
Via ultrasonic frequency.
And you want to know the coolest thing it does? Sure. It tells the time.
Bullshit.
Jodie also tells Bert there's a new guy in town too, who kinda reminds me of Brad Pitt, but a bit crapper. So he's Brad shit now. Anyway, he started taking tourists on trips around the valley to see wigglies in the wild, when suddenly one kicks up a dust cloud. Good lord! Those tourists will be killed! Somebody do something! But don't worry, it's only that weird fella from Crocodile 2 with a fire extinguisher full of dust. I'm gonna call him Crocodick. Yep, it turns out Brad shit is scamming folks to make a quick buck. Anyway, he takes them to this big rock where they'll be safe from the non-existent threat. And while they're waiting, he whips out his icebox full of overpriced drinks.
Anybody up for an ice cold beer?
No thanks, pal, but I'll take a bottle of peach Snapple off your hands. Did you just turn down beer? Oh my god, I think I just did. What the hell's wrong with me? Here, have a can of Shippy. Oh, cheers, Ken. Oh, you don't do anything by halves when it comes to Shippy, do you? Much better. That evening, and we see this Hawaiian dashboard doll in an abandoned car all like, well, it may be night time, but I'm in the mood to dance! Woo! But the actual cause of the wiggling was a wiggly wiggling through the ground below because, contrary to popular belief, wiggling is what wigglies do best. The next day, and while Bert is filling up his car, adult Mindy shows up. Hey, Mindy, what you been up to since Jurassic Park then? Honestly, not much. Then the latest tour group arrives back in town and Brad is pleased to meet Bert. But I don't think the feeling is mutual as he wants Bert to
Sign a few autographs, maybe a little weapons demonstration.
You're trying to think of the most polite way to say no, aren't you? Piss off, Brad. Then he drives off to go and do Bert stuff and Crocodick rocks up in a... well, I don't even know what the hell that is. Anyway, while he's sneakily perving like a pro, Brad tells him to stop being a creep and says,
Boy, you're about as sharp as a bowling ball.
I wouldn't underestimate the sharpness of a bowling ball. Their quick-thinking comedy has made me laugh on multiple occasions. Then it's time for another Wiggly tour, and this guy has clearly attended the Rhonda LeBeck School of Yogurt Eating. Crocodick employs the usual tactics to fool the tourists and then sits down with Mindy, but she absolutely hates his hat.
You don't want to join my company, huh? You know, a man could take offense at that.
Okay, I believe that's what they call a red flag. Unfortunately for him, though, his ground stabbing unintentionally grabs the attention of a Wiggly, and he gets attacked by its grabby tongues.
What's that?
Well, it's either rabbits shagging in a bush, or it's me mate Crocodick getting munched. Oh, it's the latter.
Is he alright?
Oh, he's always getting eaten by giant worm monsters. It's just another day at the office for old Crocodick. Then they come up with the genius plan of throwing objects about 3 meters away to distract the Wiggly long enough for them to hop into the truck and drive off. Is it just me, or do the rules seem pretty lax in this instalment? If it were any more lax, Ken would be up to our necks in shite. Bert Sizemo has also picked up the Wiggly activity, and he says,
This time, we're ready for you.
That evening, and everyone convenes in the store where Bert goes over their plan of action.
So, what do we do?
Well, we're going to do what I do best. We're going to go wiggly whacking.
Yeah, so what do we do?
Well, we need to get them before they turn into leggies, so we're going to attach explosives to remote control cars to lure them in, and then once they've eaten it, boom, the Wiggly goes kablamo mcsplato.
So, what do we do?
Oh my god, I just bloody told you! Christ, go and jump up and down outside, Brad. You'll be doing us all a favour. So the next morning they get prepped for their Wiggly hunt, but then these government vehicles show up, and Agent Spesh tells everyone that they can't hunt the Wigglies because they need to be studied for science.
I called them, Bert.
Thanks, Nancy. I hate you now.
Are you even aware of the public outcry?
No, but I am aware that you have an excess of saliva. Now back up before I drop you like a slice of toast with jam on. Then Agent Spesh says they might need to evacuate the valley and seal it off indefinitely.
Wait a minute. You'd make us leave? That's not why I called you.
What did you think they were going to do, you dumbass? That evening, as Bert is venting his frustration by shooting some paper, he hears a Wiggly approaching on his Sizemo and says, Dylan, you...
Son of a bitch.
So he goes outside and this big albino Wiggly pops up in front of his Wiggly barrier. Hello, Bert. My name is El Blanco. What's your name?
Call me Ishmael.
Okay, Ishmael. I'm gonna go now. Bye, Bert. And is it just me, or was the CGI for that Wiggly really, really shit? No, it's not just you, lad. It looked about as convincing as the Scorpion King in The Mummy Returns, which is also a movie which came out in 2001. The next morning, and Bert finds out that Brad has made a deal with Agent Spesh, which he's not happy about.
One question. Is your head up your ass for the warmth?
Well, it ain't up there for the view, I'll tell you that much. Anyway, if the gang are able to capture a Wiggly alive, then they'll give Bert permission to blast the rest of them.
So, Mr. Gummer, what do you think?
I think you either have a cold or someone's been snorting Charlie Chalk for breakfast.
Do we have a deal?
Yes, we have a deal. Now, go away and...
Do what you do best. Find something simple and complicated.
Political satire! So Bert and Brad take off just as Agent Saliva turns up, who is very excited about his new discovery.
It's unbelievable! Frank! Charlie! It's unbelievable!
Look! This van has a sliding door on the side! Holy shit, it does! You know what? That's so incredible, I think we'll end the movie right there. Back to Bert, who is setting up the old chain and cans combo to lure in a Wiggly, when who should turn up but Melvin from the first movie?
Bert, long time no see.
Well, we are in Nevada, which isn't on the coast. Anyway, Melvin owns Perfection Valley Ranchettes and wants to buy out all the residents so he can build new homes on their property. Bert is vehemently opposed to this though, partly because he likes living there, but also because Melvin looks like the living embodiment of sexual harassment. But as Bert is telling him to stick his business card where the sun don't shine, Brad notices they've got a Wiggly incoming.
Freeze. Everybody quiet.
Okay, it's probably a bad time to tell you about my nervous tick. Sounds like that dog that's stuck in the car. Then a Wiggly bursts from the ground using footage from Tremors 1 to save money. Then it proceeds to eat this barrel, and Bert along with it, leaving Brad like, no! Bert's dead! Now I'm never going to get to tell him how I feel, using nerve endings and microreceptors in my skin. But then he gets a call on his radio.
Houston, we have a problem.
Oh great, an Apollo 13 radio play. No, you silly shit. Bert's still alive, and he's hiding in the barrel the Wiggly swallowed, but he's running out of air, and fast. So he tells Brad to lure the Wiggly up to his house and into the underground barrier. So he drives like the wind and the Wiggly follows. Then he leads it through Bert's front gate and BAM! It goes splat against the underground wall. Hey Ken, what did the Wiggly say when it ran into a wall? Oh, I don't know. What did the Wiggly say when it ran into a wall? Well, unfortunately it was dead, so I couldn't get a concrete answer. Then Brad starts digging Bert out, before chainsawing his way inside the beastie, just as Jody turns up and is like,
What the hell are you doing?
I'm chainsawing a tin of orange paint! What does it look like I'm doing? Then out pops Bert from inside, looking more gooey than a goodra.
I prefer we keep this to ourselves.
Now if you'll excuse me, I'm going to waddle away like I've just pooped pant. And that's the end of part 1. Tune in next week for the riveting conclusion, where you will get answers to these important questions. Why are Nancy and Mindy in a box? What material is Bert's roof made of? Why so foamy? What does Brad shit want for his birthday? And what even is Melvin? Besides being a little con...